Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is gonna be day one of the Transcend into Mental Wellbeing Challenge. And so, just gonna wait for some people to log on. If you haven't heard about this challenge, it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna grab a couple of things right before we start. So, hey, if you're coming in right now, put some comments in the section and let me know what is it that you're desiring to work on during this 5-day Transcend into Mental Wellbeing Challenge. What are some things in your life that you want to look at, that you want to grow in, that have been a pattern and a cycle of just discomfort perhaps, right? Or blockages in going to the next level. So let me know what that is so I can better serve you. And that's what this is about. Me having an opportunity to serve you to my fullest potential, to see you rise and thrive in every area of your life. So, all right, let me get everything else going. Hope you're having a great Monday. What's going on? Woohoo! This is about to be fire. My hair is looking pretty solid. Having a good hair day. Okay. Let me get some background tunes going to have some meditative flow. Maybe not that loud. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Perfect. Nice and tranquil. Got my English accent coming out. Looks like, who we got in here in this room, man? We need to get some people out here. Let me grab a couple of things. I'll be right back. All right. Still gonna wait just a little bit for people to join. Remember, if you're coming in live, because these are live sessions, if you need some details, what I'm gonna do is in the description of the Google Meets that is for the people who have signed up for the challenge, I'm gonna put a link right now for where you can have access to each and every one of these programs that are included in this entire 5-day challenge. Literally, it's $833 worth of services, and I'm giving them away for free because I love seeing people reach their potential. I want to take the excuse away from people that perhaps are going through a financial tough season, or perhaps are having an issue trusting people, right? Like me, Malik Ali, from Rebranding the World as a life coach, I have an immense amount of experience, not just by my knowledge, but in life experience itself. And so I want to give people an opportunity to work with me, to see my credibility, to see the things that I teach, they actually work if people apply it consistently. And I truly have a heart to see people thrive, no hidden agenda. So again, you're going to get access to my live 1 hour revolutionary teaching. So this will last only 1 hour today. I'm also making sure no one else is signing in right now so I can make sure I give them access to the room. And also, you're going to get access to a database of teachings to go through inner healing, right? To enhance your mindset, to be able to have conflict resolution skills in workplace environments and family environments, in relationships, right? Marriage, girlfriend, boyfriend. And so also, how can you begin to accomplish your goals or discover your genius in life? And so there are so many different things on that YouTube channel. It's all free. And I mean, some people may charge, anywhere from $8.99 to $17.99 a month for the type of teachings that I have on there. And that's great. They should. They're providing value. But I'm just giving them away for free because that's the season that I'm in right now. And so take advantage of it while you can, right? Work on yourself, believe in yourself, give yourself the time that is necessary, the investment that is necessary to be able to accomplish exactly what you're here on the earth for, and live in a place of ecstasy and joy, right? Also, you're going to get live 15-minute chats after the 1 hour revolutionary teachings, which is right now. And that way, if you have any questions, or perhaps on day 2, we can celebrate some of the things that you're applying into your life and where you're growing and expanding and increasing in. And if you have any, hurdles to walk through, we can go a little bit deeper within those 15 minutes. And also, you're going to get access after the 5-day challenge by your participation in the live sessions or through homework, you have to qualify for this, right? It's not just going to be given to you for free completely. It's based upon your participation. So all you have to do is show up in the 1 hour live teachings through the Google Meets, right? Or over here and just comment, hey, I was here, I want that book, here's my email, right? Or you can submit your homework. Like there's a worksheet that I'm going to be able to share with you that's just going to help you to be guided along each day and making sure that you're diving deep within those areas that need to have some illumination upon, right? So those cracks can be filled within your foundation. So now you can be built up strong, powerful, better than before. And I just want to celebrate you for taking the time to be here to work on yourself. It's not easy, to have that decision that, I need something to shift and change in my life. It's so easy to just keep on going, right? To, keep accomplishing the goals or make ourselves busy, seemingly busy, without really accomplishing anything worthwhile. And so really want to thank you for taking the time to do that. Bless you. Also, you're going to get a 5-day access to my Recreate Your Matrix program. And I mean, that program in itself is $997 of value. I think it's something around there, right? And so the first 5 days, it's usually around 166 or something. What is it? $163.16, right? Because I'm breaking it down day by day. I'm giving it away to you for free during these 5 days. It's a 30-day program, but I'm giving you the first 5 days for free. How amazing, right? How great do you feel that there's someone that believes in you? Me. I don't know who you are. Maybe I do, right? Maybe we've met before. More than likely, if you're here on this challenge on the Google Meets group, we've actually met before at LA Fitness, right? Or perhaps through Uber and Lyft, which are some of the things that I do. I promote my services at different gyms. I also drive for Uber and Lyft in my spare time while I'm building my business. And so I'm very vulnerable, very authentic, very genuine with the things that I'm working on and where my business is at. And I've gone around the world for the last about 3 years, I'd say really 2 years, and getting a chance to work with different communities through my nonprofit sector. And so the things that I've learned, the things that I've gained, they don't just work regionally, they work globally, right? And now I'm establishing a business to be able to really impact the US long term. But if you live in other countries, that's perfectly fine too. You are more than welcome. Okay, awesome. So looks like we're gonna go ahead and get rocking and rolling. Everyone on YouTube that's watching this maybe as a replay, right? Maybe you signed up for the challenge and you weren't able to make it live. That's okay. Check out these replays. Remember, the replays are only gonna be available for the 5-day challenge. After the 5-day challenge, they're gonna disappear. But you can purchase them if you'd like for $17.94, I believe that's what it is. I sent it in an email. Let me double check. Yes, $17.94 for sure. That's the number. So I'm going to leave the links in the description below for the YouTube, where you can access the different links for everything that's available. Also for the worksheet, it will be in the YouTube channel as well, so you can engage and enjoy. But remember, 5 days only. Okay, awesome. Let's get into it, right? So today, what we're going to be focusing on, just give me a moment to get my screen popped up. So just real quick, some insight that's going to be very helpful on the worksheet that you're going to have access to, right? Like, make sure you're tuned in as you're going through this live or the replay, because it's going to be structured based upon that, so you can fill it in as we go, right? And take a pause if you need, reflect, contemplate in the moment, and jot those aspects down that we're going to engage in. And you might even realize that some of the questions on the worksheet that's made and designed for you, I took extra time to design that. Normally something like that could be an extra $150 and something like this, up to like $1,500. Literally, that's what these things really cost, right? I'm not just fabricating numbers, but I'm giving it away as a resource, as a tool to you for free, right? So make sure you engage with it, right? As you apply it to your life, you'll see the benefit and the gain from it. You are worth it. Take the time and invest into yourself. So you might notice that you're having the same questions come up, and that's okay. Or not the same questions, the same answers. You've answered this question, and perhaps 3 questions later, you're like, similar type of answer. That's okay, because you're going to see patterns and cycles that are a part of your life that perhaps now is the season to shed the skin. Just as the phoenix arises, right, out of the ashes, beauty comes forth. And so get excited for those illuminations, right, for the ability to see clearly, this is what's going on in my life. And don't condemn yourself. Don't be ashamed. Don't beat yourself up. Get excited for transformation now that it's come into your awareness, right? Everything can shift, right? And you can do it. It's capable of being done. I was addicted to drugs for 12 years in my past. I used to sell drugs for 6 years. I'm hearing a sound. Hold on a second. Okay, nice. Yeah, I was selling drugs for 6 years and I went to jail for 14 months. And so when you think about someone who hit rock bottom, that was me for sure, right? But I believed in myself, and really it was through God believing in me and being there for me, right? And being able to lift me up, right? And even when I couldn't grasp for air, He brought oxygen into my lungs. And so I want to be there for you today, right? That way you can get a chance to see the fullness of what you can walk into. So what we're going to focus on today is a multi-dimensional viewpoint, right? To be able to see life from a multi-dimensional lens, not just looking at things in black and white, but gray, orange, yellow, kind of like this painting, right? There's so many different colors on this painting, and that's what makes it beautiful. To find the beauty in our life, right? To be able to arise out of the ashes, right? To have great ascension, right? It's the ability to look at the areas, right, that perhaps need a different viewpoint. Instead of seeing the glass half empty, seeing it half full. We've heard that phrase, from so long ago, and yet it is so simple and so true. Sometimes less is more, right? You don't need something to be complex, that it's so simple to grasp. You just need to arise into the understanding, right? And take the next step. Okay, so let's take the next step to shift some of our viewpoints in life towards circumstances, towards relationships, towards business, right? Towards our self-image, all of these aspects, we're going to take a deeper look today. Okay, so, when I was praying and meditating, maybe perhaps a year or so ago, I journal these things whenever I begin to sense and feel and see in the spiritual realm. And, if this is some kind of new language for you, like spiritual realm, see, sense, what is that? Just know that there's so much available out here, and because of the context of what we're engaging in today, if you hear other things that you're like, I wonder what that is about. I want to know more about the spiritual realm and sense and see and feel and access. Well, I have great teachings that you can engage in, right? That will allow you to open up your senses to receive. And so they're all on the YouTube channel, which you have access to. So take advantage of it. It's there for you, right? Awesome. So in this vision, I saw a crown, and on the crown, on each spoke, I saw an eye. And what the Spirit was revealing to me, right? And for me, it's the Spirit of God. But whatever you believe, if it's the universe, if it's Hinduism, if it's Buddhism, energy healing, the law of attraction, Taoism, whatever ism it is, right? Thank you so much for being here. I respect you. I honor you. And I want you to just get a chance to receive this revelation to transform your life, right? And surely your life can be transformed by this revelation, no matter what you believe. So just take it for what it is. Illumination, right? Truth, right? Understanding. Okay, so what God was revealing to me was these eyes This is what makes a great king or queen, having a crown and seeing with many different viewpoints. When you allow yourself to do that, the spirit of understanding comes upon you and you're able to see things very clearly for what it is and how you can utilize it and how you can pivot to take the next steps, right? And so that's what we're going to focus on today. Think about the Hebrew culture, right? And if you haven't heard much about it, I'm going to explain something very simple to you today about their language, right? So the ancient Hebrew language, each letter is characterized by an image and a letter, right? So what's amazing is it's giving an individual a multi-dimensional viewpoint in one letter, which means the Hebrew culture saw everything in a multi-dimensional lens. They never saw things just one-sided. So this Hebrew letter Tet is characterized by an image of a snake that's coiled up, ready to attack, right? But also, it's representing a snake that's ready to shed its skin, right? And looking at life afresh, a rebirthing. So in one aspect we have death, in one aspect we have life in the image of this letter Tet, by it being characterized by a snake. So that right there is something I want you to allow to sink into your heart, into your nervous system, into your being, into your mindset, into your spirit. Just say, I receive this revelation right now. Your words are activating portals and gateways around you and over you. And so use your thoughts and your emotions and your words right now to open up this understanding that I'm carrying, right? I'm releasing it to you right now, and you can grab a hold of it. You can grab a hold of it right now. Right now. So just realize that the Hebrew letter Tet, characterized by death and by life. Amazing. Multi-dimensional lens, right? So what it's showing us is sometimes the very things that are coming into our lives, right, that perhaps challenge us, oppose us, take peace away, take focus away, right? Things that we would hope would have gone differently, people that could have treated us better, those very things are coming into your life to serve you, to empower you, to impact you, to build you up, to grow different virtues within you like love, peace, joy, happiness, kindness, faithfulness. These virtues are the most powerful virtues to live from, and they allow you to experience heaven on earth. And so those experiences come in to teach you those very aspects. So the thing is, when we have that viewpoint that, this obstacle that's coming in, right? This snake that's coiled up ready to attack that's coming in, what is it coming to do? Instead of having a victim or fleeing or fearing mentality, which it's okay to have those emotions come upon an individual and perhaps even to act from them, but it's the ability to be aware of what's taking place and saying, wait a second, this action has a reaction. Is this the type of reaction that I'm looking for? Whatever you feed amplifies, right, in your life. And so when you feed fear and anxiety and depression, guess what happens? More and more comes upon an individual. But if they use it as a fuel source, right, to improve, to recreate, right, to shift, right, now those sources of fuel are being utilized, right, to impact your life for a better well-being. And that's what we're going to do today. That's what we're already doing right now. The realm is already opening up over your life. So you get to apply it now on a regular basis. Consistency is the key, okay? So let me grab a quick sip. We're moving right along. Okay. So in the Chinese culture, they would consider what I'm explaining to you as the yin and the yang, right? So the yin and the yang, they are two opposing forces and natures, right? But they're working together. They're being harnessed together to bring forth life. Everything in creation was created from these opposing natures. Wow. Isn't that amazing? That if something comes to oppose you, the complete opposite of what you're moving from, living from your understanding, right? From what you're hoping to accomplish, if the opposite comes into your life, what is it doing? It's actually helping you to create and recreate, right? And you get to recreate algorithms to serve you. And so everything that we're focusing on today is refining your algorithm. Everyone has an algorithm to their life, and it's compiled of their feelings, their emotions, their agreements, their understandings of the world, right? Now, when you think about an algorithm, like perhaps for Google's search engine, when you type in a question, that algorithm, that formula, now begins to pull forth all different resources and content to bring forth towards you. So now you can get a chance to experience this content, right? So, what is your algorithm? What have you put in place for yourself, right? What information and resources and experiences are coming and manifesting in your life based upon what you have allowed this formula to obtain, right? Amazing. So it's creating a victor mentality and removing the victim mentality, because everything around you is a construct of your mind. You have fed it and you have given it meaning. That's amazing, because if you like it, great, continue. If not, guess what? You can recreate it. And that's really awesome too, right? I've had the pleasure to recreate so much of my life that needed to be recreated, and I'm continuously doing it today, still growing, still learning, and I'm excited about that, right? I try not to judge myself or compare myself to other people, but if I do judge, if I do compare, it's to bring life, it's to bring expansion, it's to bring me to an understanding that I can achieve more by celebrating myself and not beating myself up, right? So, awesome. Now, when it comes to, the algorithm, think of it as soil, right? Like when you are planting in a garden, if the soil is not well maintained, right? If it doesn't have the right nutrients and minerals, right? Whatever you plant there is not gonna see life or to see it to its fullest potential. So what we're really doing today, right, by being able to look at things from different perspectives, is really refining your soil. It's recreating your algorithm. So now the aspects that are coming in, you're processing it in a different way. Your neural pathways are going to begin to be reprogrammed. It's a process called neural linguistics. This is cool, man. Who's having fun? If you're having fun, just put in the chats, hey, I'm having a great time. This is awesome. I know I'm having a great time. Thank you for being here today. Okay, for whoever's here, and whoever will get a chance to view this, right? Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so here's another example to look at, and then we're going to start to go through some of these questions. I'm going to share a little bit more of my story with you, and remember to tune in to the worksheet, right? That's the key. The worksheet is the key. So think about the sun, right? When the sun is high in the sky, right, it's illuminating light, right? It's reflecting light. Now, that same sun, as it goes down for the sunset, is now illuminating the same light that was there at the top of the day, but now the colors are appearing differently, right? Now you're seeing yellow, orange, fiery red, right? And sometimes even like shades of pink and purple. But it's interesting that from this viewpoint to the sunset viewpoint, the light is appearing in a different manifestation. My eyes are picking it up in a different way, different colors. And that's the power of viewing things from a different viewpoint, and creating a multi-dimensional lens, right? So when I'm looking at a situation that perhaps came to oppose me, family, friends, relationships, finances, right? Trauma from the past, right? Strongholds that perhaps are in an individual's life, that every time it happens, a deep trigger gets unfolded, right? Addiction in any kind of way, food, drugs, pornography, all these various aspects, right? Attention seeking, social media, whatever those are, it's now getting a chance to look at it from a different viewpoint and finding life, how to recreate it, how to utilize it, right? To catapult yourself to the next level. All right, so I want to share a little bit about myself, right? And so, at a very young age in my life, I was rejected. And I was rejected by people that I was hoping to become friends with, right? And it really hurt me to such a strong degree. Like, it was like someone ripped my heart open. Imagine that. Imagine if your heart literally was ripped open. That would be so painful. That's how it felt for me. And I never wanted to feel that way again. And so what I realized at a young age, right, that if I put on a mask that would allow me to become whoever I need to be for this person or this situation to work for my benefit, to be accepted, right? Then I would do that. And it worked. I had friends from so many different backgrounds because I continued to just recreate myself, but I lost my identity. I wasn't my true, genuine, authentic self. I had no idea who that was. And as I lost my identity and that mask took on a life of its own, I began to engage myself in different situations in my life that I thought I would have never done, like drug addiction, right? And so, and even selling drugs and landing myself into jail. Now, that entire experience of my life, you know, I'm not the only one that's gone through something like that. Other people have gone through similar journeys, similar types of opposition or resistance in their life, may have come alive in different ways, but similar types of energies that were coming in. How do we use that? How do we move to the next level? What is it that you've experienced, right? That's kind of similar to what I experienced. It doesn't have to be in jail. It doesn't have to be with drugs. Could be with a family member. Could be with a work colleague. Could be with the way you see yourself for opportunities, right? Seeing yourself as worthy, taking chance, taking risks, right? Asking for the raise. What is it for you, right? Is it the ability to, forgive someone that every time you think about them, you begin to boil up with frustration, right? What is it for you? Take a moment and think about that. Because this is important right now that you establish that. I'm going to give you a moment. So, you got it? I hope so. Yeah. Take some more time if you need and pause this if you're watching the replay. And if you're here right now and you need more time, take the time. Okay? Now, whatever that aspect is, I just told you what mine was, right? And how do I begin to look at that, right? For the longest time, I never told anyone about those experiences in my life. It was a chapter I closed, didn't want to look at it again, didn't want other people to see me from that light, perhaps judge me from that light, but they would only be able to judge me if I was judging myself. And I did judge myself, right? Eventually. And I judged myself as this experience will serve me. This experience will be the very blessing that I need in this season to create something so powerful, so impactful that it will serve my community around me. And those experiences now are in a book that I've written. It's called Mask Off, From Shadows to Light, a personal growth book that takes an individual on a 21-day journey, right? And has questions after each chapter, which each chapter is engaged in on a day-by-day basis. So 21 chapters after 21 days, a huge transformation begins to come upon an individual's life, right? And those mistakes that I made in my life, they're my very blessings now, because I chose to look at it from a different viewpoint. And beyond my choice, it was God's revelation coming into my life, illuminating different viewpoints of what he was going to do. You know, there's a beautiful phrase in the words of God where it says, I'll work all things out for the good for those that love me and that are called according to my purposes. And my mistakes are my very blessings now that I get to serve you with, right? So grateful to be able to do that. And so, how do we begin to look at something like that in that type of viewpoint, right? So, I've already given you a framework, right, of constructing your mind to look at each situation from multidimensional viewpoints. So let's take an example, right? Let's say it is an unexpected bill comes into your life. Like, let's say you're on a fixed income and now all of a sudden $500, right, come in from an insurance visit or from a medical visit that you were not expecting. How do you manage that now, right? Like, that's really intense. This is how you do it. Okay, why has this scenario come into my life? Okay, because everything is happening for a reason. Things aren't just happening out here of randomness. It's not random. Everything is divine, right? And whatever you've sown, you reap, right? Maybe you've asked, right, to be able to be free in your finances, to be abundant in your finances. Guess what's going to come? A challenge to your mindset of how you're viewing your financial well being. If you're seeing this situation from a lack viewpoint, how am I going to pay this? I'm on a fixed income. I'm going to go into debt, all this stuff. If you begin to think like that, that's the very reason that experience came into your life. Perhaps because you said, I want to have a promotion, I want to be abundant, I want to be able to have greater financial well-being. This is the test, this is the refinement, this is the opposition that you need to flourish and thrive, right? Who's tracking with me right now? I feel like people are tracking. Whoever's engaging, whenever they're engaging, this is making sense, right? And so, what can I learn from it? How do I now get a chance to create a plan, a strategy, right? How do I now get a chance to see what opportunities are around me? How do I now get a chance to perhaps ask for that promotion, right? Or ask for more work, more responsibilities, right? To show my value and capabilities to be able to earn more for myself, to manage my life, and perhaps for the people that are involved in my life. And perhaps I have a heart to be generous with the community, and this is why I'm asking for more and more financial well-being. So that's a different way of looking at it, right? Glass half full, glass half empty, okay? Now, it can be also to take a look at the different emotions that come up, the stresses, the anxieties that come up with a situation like that. Why am I viewing it that way? What limiting belief system do I have? Where does that stem from? Is that really important for me to understand? Well, the next aspect that I want to go into, right, and this is going to be another tool to be able to help you. And remember, this isn't complex. This is very simple, but it's important for an individual to utilize these simple protocols and strategies and procedures that are extremely effective, that will completely transform your mindset into mental well-being. Okay? This is a little bubbly, by the way. Some soda water, mango, really refreshing. I love this stuff. Okay, so Mark Seligman, right? He is a neuroscientist, and also, is he a neuroscientist? Excuse me, I'm thinking of someone else. He is spearheading positive psychology research that is recreating the algorithm when it comes to psychology, based upon the Floridian theory of how an individual should go within, deep into the rooted areas that are connected as a web to the experiences that are coming into their life now. His research, which is using science-backed data and testing and experiments to show what really is taking place and what really is effective, is completely removing the validity of the Floridian theories to a strong degree. Some of it is still valid, for sure, and has its place, not to get rid of or replace, but this new research, these new techniques are highly effective, and they will allow the right results that people are looking for to come in. So they should be given more weight, more attention, more focus versus the previous psychology model, right? And so don't get rid of it, but utilizing this as the priority method, right? And so what is that method? It's actually an experiment that they did, right? They took 3 different groups of individuals and put them into MRIs. One of them was told to think about a certain aspect, the other one was told to think about a certain aspect, and the third group was a control group that was told not to think anything. So they're looking at the results for each group, and they're realizing for the group that wasn't thinking about anything, or was told to not thinking about anything, they had them in an MRI and saw that their imagination was completely lit up. So they're realizing that people at a baseline level, right, generally are really living from their imagination. Their imagination is active, it's alive, it's engaging, right, continuously. Okay, so what is the fuel for people's imagination, right? Because what you're fueling it with, what you're filling it up with, right, the space, is it life-giving? Is it taking away life? Is it the most potent form of fuel? Like, you go to a gas station, and in America we have 87, 89, 93 level of octane. The higher you go, the better quality octane it is for your vehicle. So what type of octane fuel are we putting in? And so I really love that analogy. It's so simple and it's highly effective to allow an individual to understand, what am I utilizing? So when you think about this fuel source methodology, people who are conducting this research, Mark Spelligman and his team, they're realizing that what people are using as fuel is their past. People are continuously engaged with the events that took place, the scenarios, the mistakes, perhaps even the celebrations of the past, right? Continuously. And that's being used as fuel for their imagination. And that's creating the matrix, the world, the patterns, the cycles around them, right? Everything is a construct of your mind. And so they're realizing that the Floridian theory of going deep within and continuously analyzing the past isn't the most effective method, but really it's kind of how you eat your food. When you eat your food, what happens? Your body now metabolizes the food and then you flush it out, you poop it out. They're realizing that each and every individual should treat their life this way. Their past, their celebrations, their shortcomings, right? Their trauma, digesting it, right? Allowing it to be released and flushed out, creating a blank canvas in life to look and live from, and using that blank canvas, that neutral state of mind and spirit, to allow their life around them to be fueled from that source, to be created from that source. And now, when people are living from a blank canvas, they can have hope. So now, in their imagination, instead of fear, anxiety, depression, trauma, PTSD, stress, now what's being used as fuel is a place of being neutral, allowing hope to arise and expectation for great things to come to pass, because the past is not fueling the now and the future. It's a blank canvas. And this is a very challenging aspect to engage in. It's not easy, but it's necessary to instill in an individual's life for them to experience life more abundantly. And so it's the key of practicing it with consistency that allows it to come alive in your life. Okay, great. So, what is it that you need to digest? And think about the blank canvas. This is not a blank canvas. If I'm using this to view into my life, it's not the best source. I want it to be completely blank. No matter how someone treated me, no matter how my workplace was treating me, no matter how a family member was treating me, or how I experienced different events with different people, I'm not going to use those filters in my life to be able to take the next step. Perhaps I've gained wisdom and understanding, right? Even at that, I don't want to bring in those sources of information, perhaps that is attached to biases, right? To fuel the choices and the decisions that I'm going to make today and in the future, or even how I'm going to view them. It's the ability to continuously look at things from a place of being neutral. And the more you remain neutral on circumstances, now the right level of wisdom comes in. And the type of wisdom that comes in now is not rooted to the biases of the past. So remember, we're refining the soil. We're recreating the algorithm. I'm giving you the keys and the blueprints of how to be able to live from a blank canvas to recreate the matrix around you, right? It's amazing, like, what this allows an individual to do. And if you go to my database of teachings on my YouTube channel, you'll get a chance to see that there is a meditation practice called the Transcendent Life Meditation Practice, which allows you to enter into the stillness of life. And trust me, if you use those teachings consistently, these different patterns and cycles, biases that perhaps have come into an individual's life, they'll get a chance to just be completely removed. It won't be a part of your thought process anymore of how you're experiencing certain situations in your life, right? Okay, awesome. So learn what you can from experiences, accept the opposing forces and complementary forces that have manifested into your life, then metabolize those experiences and live from the blank canvas. Remember, the opposition has come to serve you. It's coming to train you, right? Be excited about that. Even while I was creating this program, right? Now, I told you earlier on, I've gone around the globe to countries like Kenya, Uganda, Spain, Portugal, Chile, Paraguay, Brazil, throughout the United States, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. I've gone to these various countries and I've helped communities transform their mental well being. Now, at the same time, even I've done it in America, right? Even through my wellness company that I started in 2018 called Outward Fitness, doing all of that, right? Writing this book years ago. I was doubting myself when I was creating this program that am I really the individual that can deliver to these people who are trusting me with their life, right? Can I really provide them with meaningful value? I was hardcore doubting myself, right? And I realized, how could I doubt myself when I'm at this caliber in life? It's because I remain as a teachable person. I remain as a person who's hungry to grow, who never has that mentality that I've made it or arrived, but I'm excited to continuously expand. And I realized that those doubts were coming in as a tool, right, for me to remove the imposter syndrome from my life to a greater degree of realizing I do have immense value. What I'm sharing, not anyone else is sharing quite like the way I'm presenting it. And that's important because the people that come into my magnetic field are the very individuals that are looking for this type of language, this type of illumination, right? So it's important that I put it out there because the world needs what I'm carrying, right? And so the best teachers make the best students, and that's what I position myself as a great student, so I can be an effective teacher, an effective coach. And so I realized how those experiences were coming to me to serve me, but it was also bringing up patterns and cycles of how I viewed certain things in my life. And so I recreated the blank canvas. I monitored those emotions that were coming up from that scenario of how I was viewing it initially as doubting myself, and realizing that, okay, these are a part of my nervous system. Let me recreate it. So who am I really? Where am I really going? What agreements do I really want to make? Living from a blank canvas, metabolizing those experiences, right? And now getting a chance to allow the right experiences to manifest, the right emotions to embody in my body. How would I feel if I'm doing this from a place of really believing that I am the one, that there's no one else that can do it quite like me? What does that feel like? I'm allowing my nervous system to be filled with those emotions now versus the ones that were there before. How amazing, right? And so this is practically what you can do on a regular basis, right? To create a multi-dimensional lens in your life. Remember that Hebrew letter Tet that we were talking about? Death is bringing life, right? The snake that's coiled up ready to attack, also the one that's shedding its skin to bring forth new life. How amazing, right? This makes life fun, right? It makes it exciting, adventurous, that it's happening for you. And so as I worked through that, I came into this amazing flow of being able to create what I've created for you today. Amazing, right? So we're almost towards the end of today, which is awesome. I'm excited that it has gone so well. I'm excited to get your feedback as well. And remember, you're going to want to go through the worksheet, right? And so some of the questions on the worksheet I'm going to go through with you right now. What are 3 things that you would like to transform or improve in your life during this 5-day challenge, right? Take a moment and think about that and write them down. You have space on the worksheet to write it down. You're welcome, or you can do it on your phone, wherever, but it's there. Utilize it, okay? So what are 3 things that you would like to view from a different perspective, light in your life? Could be related, but not only to family, work, friends, relationships, or past disappointment. Excuse me. What is standing in your way from moving forward with your desires, purpose, and or dreams? What robs you of joy throughout your day? Before you answer, reflect on your thought life. What thoughts are circulating around the majority of the time in your mind? Are they bringing life or death, joy or sadness, strength or weakness? What action step would you like to take on your discovery today from these questions? Literally 5 questions. Take the time, engage in it, It's going to really help you along this 5-day journey, and it's going to allow me to be more effective in your life. So do the homework right there, and you can even do it right now. Okay, so the last thing I want to leave you with, right, is there's an amazing book called The Four Agreements, and it makes life so simple, and that's what these 5 days are about. Now, this book is written by Don Miguel Ruiz, and it's called The Four Agreements. And it's the ability to focus on these four agreements throughout an individual's daily life. And by doing that, they grow into a place of better mental well being, being able to be reconciled with the people around them, to be able to process life from a higher resolution, to have clarity, to have greater peace, love, joy, happiness. Love and joy are the highest frequencies and portals an individual can create and live from. And so these four agreements are very powerful. Now, not necessarily in this order, but I have it listed over here as number one, use your words impeccably. Now, throughout this challenge, I'm not just going to tell you, hey, use your words impeccably, talk in a positive tone. I'm going to break the science down of how it actually works. And I don't see a lot of teachers really doing that. I do see some doing it, but just something, so basic, like, hey, yeah, you are creating a reality around you by how you speak, so speak well. There's so much more to breaking that down than that aspect right there. So I'm really excited that I get a chance to serve you and give you these ancient mystical blueprints and protocols and strategies that I've learned from other great teachers that I'll get a chance to share, because you should definitely engage in their content, because they are on a different level that I am, that I've learned from. I want you to have access to that so you can grow exponentially, right? That's how much of a heart that I have for people. I'm not going to hold anything back from you. I want you to thrive. So use your words impeccably. So, just have that awareness. Am I using my words impeccably? And I'll give you greater understanding throughout this 5-day challenge. Don't take anything personally, right? And so why wouldn't you take anything personally? There's greater understanding to have, so that way you don't take things personally. I'll get a chance to break that down. Don't make assumptions, right? That's the third agreement. The fourth agreement is always do your best. Okay, so I just want you to focus on these for today as you go through your day, and perhaps it will bring a lot of questions. Well, how do I do that? How do I engage in that? Perhaps I've been doing it this way. Is that the best way? Or can I improve, right? Can I evolve? Can I shed the skin on that process, on that pattern, on that cycle, and recreate that algorithm? Ask yourself those questions, and get excited tomorrow for day 2. Same time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, after the live revolutionary teaching, which usually goes for about an hour. It depends. If there's a lot of engagement, right, it can go for that 1 hour for sure. If it's just like straight teaching, then perhaps, it might end a little bit sooner, a little bit longer. But nonetheless, if there was questions and things right now with people that are engaging live, I would spend the time and do that, and we would get to that 1 hour span. But it doesn't look like that's going to be an opportunity today. And so just know that, yes, what you're getting is high quality, right? It's something that I've spent time and time again to create, thinking about you, praying about you, meditating about you, that I can be effective in my opportunity to have your time and space with me that I honor and respect so much, that I can get a chance to see greater manifestations of what you truly desire in your life. I want that for you, truly and genuinely. And after this 5-day challenge, if there's an opportunity to work with you consistently, right? Of course, I'm offering a service which comes at a monetary value, but after the 5 days, if you see my credibility and you perhaps are saying, I've received a lot of information, but I still want someone to work with, I would love to be considered as an individual for that. And I'll give you some options for sure to engage with. But if not me, give it to someone else that you feel would be right for you in this season, because it's important for your life that you take the steps necessary to reach the next level that you have access to walk into, right? Sometimes we need someone to walk next to us to allow those doors to open up, right? Kind of like a coach, a counselor, a therapist. Now, I'm a life coach, and so that's going to be my focus in your life. I'm accredited by the International Sports and Medicine Association, and you've got a chance to hear about my life experiences that also play a big part in how effective I can be in an individual's life. And if you'd like, I will leave a link to my website in this description below on the YouTube channel, where you can go and look at some different offerings already if you'd like, right? And just get an understanding of what that's like to work with me. If I met you and I signed you up for the challenge, on the very back of the flyer that I gave you, those prices and those plans and those offerings are there. But remember, these 5 days, completely free. I've already given you an email that has access to all of the links that are available for you in this program, which is $833.24. Truly the monetary value that it would cost to have these services with me, and I'm giving them to you for free. I hope that you're enjoying them. Now, tomorrow again, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Can't wait to see you then. And yeah, hope you have a great rest of your day. And thank you for tuning in with me. Can't wait to catch up with you tomorrow. Let me make sure there isn't anything else to share. I think that's it. I want to make sure I've touched on everything. Fantastic. Well done. Hey, have an awesome rest of your day. God bless you. I'm trying to see how I end this. Share. This is kind of fun, huh? It's like they changed this. How do I end this live recording? Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Hold on, do I just hit X? I don't understand this. I don't want to like lose the recording because that would be very, very that would be very unfortunate. Oh God, help me out. Mute, share. I guess I'm sharing.